Seth Hatchell right to the back bumper of the 32. And this has been so hard to pass down here, but Emerson going to clear Mayato. Not going to go low. He's going to try and fake the 48. Travato using the inside lane. Mayato now up half a groove. The second position looking for his first race win. Oh, hard contact. Mayato up in the air, up on the hood, on top of the Geico machine. All over his back bumper. He's going to have to be very tactical with his moves. Oh, and hard under braking. Travato nearly locked it up there. St. Barrett's big slide out of turn number 1. Comes Chris Samard, Kevin Cornelius. They're going to make a charge in the third lane. Is it too little, too late? Are they going to have the run out of turn number 4? Mark Emerson down low. They're all going to wreck. Dennis Fairclough in the lead right now. Here comes Nick Gardner. Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live tonight with the Shenandoah Shine 225 from Chicagoland Speedway. This is the opening race in the round of 8 in the playoffs for these drivers. 150 laps, 225 miles around this now pretty much defunct racetrack up outside Chicago. Very fun racetrack. Should be plenty of multi-groove racing, at least on the short runs. We'll see drivers all packed up together and trying to work through the field, trying to save tires, maybe some fuel strategy, throw that in there. Going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Looking forward to a great race, and so glad you guys are tuned in to watch this one. They're going to be racing to the stage break at lap number 50. This is race 17 out of 20 so far this season. Take a look at the points as they enter into tonight's race. With Zach Carr on top of the standings. He's got a pretty good gap to the cut line. Then you've got Keith Mayato, AJ Stravato, Seth Hatchell, all currently sitting above that cut line. 4 drivers down below: Anthony Pelican, Alec Martinez, Jeremy Miller, and Angelo Ronis. All the drivers have victories except for Angelo. Could be looking for one here tonight. Needs to have a good performance to try and come back from what was really not his best run this season last week. He did skirt through into this round in the playoffs, but just really by some misfortune from others how he made it through. So going to be looking to run a little bit better and more consistently like he's done all season. We'll see if that's going to be enough for him to make it towards the championship 4. Definitely a hole to dig out of for those bottom 4. As we are getting pretty close to wrapping up the practice session here. Bradley Wilson, Shenandoah Shine driver, currently on top of the leaderboard here by 8 1/1000ths over Reggie Ortega. Reggie just missed out on this round of the playoffs by just a handful of points after a late wreck last week. Driver looking to find victory lane once again. It's going to be Alec Martinez, 4th fastest in practice right now. And Anthony Pelican, you can see he is up there in 6th. Jeremy Miller in 5th. Driver eliminated last week, Chris Samard, running a Thanksgiving themed paint scheme. There's going to be a few of those cars on track tonight, and they're doing a vote for your favorite. So go check out the link we've posted in chat, the one in the description of the video here tonight. Go vote for your favorite of, I believe there's 3 cars running Thanksgiving Day theme paint schemes. One of them right there, Keith Mayato, the 36 machine, celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving. Guys, wrap up the practice session with some antics here. We'll see who goes fastest in the qualifying session in just a moment. Clock ticks down. Who gets on track first here tonight? Bradley Wilson was fastest in practice. Can he back that up? In qualifying, he'll have 5 minutes or the drivers will have 5 minutes to complete their lap, and then they go to the drivers' meeting. Warming up his tires down there on the apron. Jeremy Miller already up to speed down the backstretch. Let's go on board with him. Driver looking to find victory lane as well. He has not gotten a win since race number 1. Had some really strong performances since then, but has not found victory circle. He works through the 3rd groove here in turns 1 and 2, pretty much flat out from this race car. I think this is pretty much a sacrificial lap. He's going to be working towards a better lap number 2. This was a 30.606, currently fastest, 605 rather. Zach Carr second. Daniel Cunningham goes to the top. Now Keith Mayotta with a 30.264. Seth Hatchell now to the top, 30.22. Eric Lambert with a strong lap time on lap number 1. For Simulators Anonymous. Works through 3 and 4 on lap number 2, right up by the outside wall. Might have just touched it. That car goes fastest overall. Those look like Eric Lambert possibly catching a piece of the outside barrier there, and his lap not going to count. Bradley Wilson, though, goes fastest as he wrecks into turn number 1. 300ths faster. Rather, 300ths faster than Zach Carr. Good surprise there. Bradley's been fast, especially on short runs all season long. We'll see if we can that car up front. AJ Stravato, who's also on the racetrack, about halfway through the session here, on his first lap right now. Down the backstretch, full throttle here, getting upwards of 185 miles an hour into turn number 3, and carrying a lot of speed through these corners. He's only dropping down to about 177 at the exit of turn number 4. He'll pick speed back up across the stripe here, 188, 189. Bravado at 35.56, lowest of all drivers right now. He'll hope to improve on that on lap number 2. Does look like this is going to be a bit faster. Working through 3 and 4, just needs to have a clean exit. He will keep it off the outside wall across the stripe. 30.214, that is going to be good for 3rd fastest. He'll knock Seth Hatchell down a peg. Jeremy Miller as well. Angelo Rodas jumps to 6th on lap number 2. Great lap time there by the number 17 machine, as we have 19 taken a time. Looks like 6 drivers have not. Some of those may be under penalty from previous races, so they just be electing to start at the rear tonight. That should be pretty much everybody who's qualified. Looks like Bradley Wilson gonna get a pole award here tonight at Chicagoland in the Shenandoah Shine at 5. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Starting grid.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn one. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
Back at the racetrack now with your starting grid. Rolling off from the pole tonight, it's going to be Bradley Wilson in the number 51 machine. Starting from the top spot to his outside points leader, championship leader, Zach Carr. Be starting from the second position, looking for yet another victory tonight. Falling off from third, it's going to be AJ Stravato, the number 33 machine, winner from last week. Found his third checkered flag in that race, looking for another one here tonight. Seth Hatchell looking to get back to victory lane. One victory so far this season, currently above the cut line. Rolling off from fifth here tonight, it's going to be Jeremy Miller. Starting in sixth, Angelo Ronas, a couple drivers below the cut line looking to make some moves here tonight. Alec Martinez is going to be rolling off from seventh, and to his outside, Daniel Cunningham starting in the eighth spot. Rolling off from ninth, it's going to be Keith Mayato, three-time winner this season as well, and Anthony Pelican rounding out the top 10, a playoff driver there. Eric Lambert starting in 11th here tonight, rolling off 12th. Cody Adkins, 13th is going to be Reggie Ortega. 14th, Lyle Solfridge. 15th tonight, Joshua Abbey. 16th, Jeremiah Vincent. Rolling off 17th, it's Brandon Pearl. Starting 18th, Chris Samard. 19th, James Loveland. And rounding out the top 20, it's going to be Dallas Sullivan. 21st, Timmy Emanuele. 22nd, Alan Dice. 23rd, Zach Smith. 24th, Jordan Brockle. And that is going to do it here tonight. 24 drivers around the Chicagoland Speedway. Let's take a look at the weather coming into tonight's race. It'll be 73-degree air temp, 81-degree track temp. Should be plenty of grip in these race cars. Might even be verging on tight for these drivers. We'll see how they manage the tires on this old, worn-out surface. Who finds the checkered flag first? I do want to thank you so much for tuning in here tonight. Of course, cheer on your favorite drivers and let us know you're out there. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you're enjoying the race. See who takes home the victory here tonight. Waiting for that pace car to make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. And there it goes. Bradley Wilson in control of this field. And Zach Carr going to be rolling off from the second spot there. Green flag out in the air. We are underway from Chicagoland Speedway for the Shenandoah Shine 225. Good run off the starting mark by the 51 of Bradley Wilson. Gets a big push from AJ Stravato. Right behind them, Jeremy Miller and Zach Carr side by side for third. Here comes Keith Mayato and Seth Hatchell as well. Three wide for second. Bradley Wilson's going to lead lap number one. What a start here at Chicagoland as they are getting caught up in it. Back there racing for that second position. Gravato and Zach Carr are now battling it out for that spot. Keith Mayato right behind them. Among those three drivers, 12 of the 16 race wins. So probably one of them is going to be the favorite here tonight. We will have to see, but so far, really good job by Bradley Wilson to hang on to the top spot, being chased by Jeremy Miller. Here goes Jeremy. He's actually going to look down at the inside into turn number 3. Peeks the nose down. We've got a yellow flag on the speedway. And it is the 99 of Anthony Pelican involved in this one. May have just gone around on his own. Not too much damage from what I can see. Let's go take a look. Anthony Pelican up there on that high side trap behind Daniel Cunningham. Who's inside, it was Eric Lambert. Seth Hatchell down there as well. Looks like Eric just drifts up to the outside lane, maybe thinking he was clear, catches the 99, and a great save by Anthony to not incur any further damage, but that is going to put him at the back of the field. Get another view of this one. Up there on that high side, you see Lambert just drifts up about a lane and a half. Goes right into him. Able to continue on though. And a lot of drivers working onto pit lane already, but the top 11 going to remain on the racetrack. Brandon Pearl, the last of those. Right there in front of him, Joshua Abbey, sporting a new paint scheme tonight. Again, make sure to go vote for your favorite Thanksgiving Day scheme. Keith Mayato in the running. He's got the Canadian Thanksgiving scheme out here. Happy Thanksgiving on the hood. Seth Hatchell, his teammate, with the, those are called a cornucopia? Something like that, with all the vegetables sitting there for the Thanksgiving feast. Chris Samard, the third driver, he's got the turkey on his race car. Lucky for Anthony Pelican on that one. He's going to have plenty of time to recover. He will be at the back of the field. How about Bradley Wilson, though? He's been able to hang on to the lead for all 5 laps. The opening of this race. They should be getting the 1 to green. Bradley has had speed at different points throughout this season. He made it into... He made it into previous round of the playoffs. But messed up on to the next round. So Lee Bradley was in and was eliminated last week. But having a good showing out here tonight. Pace car lights are off. We'll be getting the green flag this time. The 51 in control. Going to elect to take the inside lane. And pretty much full throttle around here. I'm not sure how it is for some of these cars farther back in line with the dirty air tonight, but I would expect it's not a great situation to be directly behind someone. The opening laps here, you can push and drive down into turn number 1 full throttle without any issue at all. See if Jeremy Miller can time the restart from the outside lane, and he's got a push there from Zach Carr behind him. Those teammates up there on the high side. The 51 off and away. Good jump there. The outside lane not able to time it. A great job so far from Bradley Wilson, who's been able to hold off these contenders who've been up at the front all season long. Now side by side for third as AJ Servato's gotten through. He's going to move to the high side. Here comes Zach Carr. He'll go down to the inside lane. Jeremy Miller trying to seal off both lanes behind him. Going to throw a bit of a block there. I think that was on Keith Mayato. And Angelo Ronis now peeks down to the inside. He may just get alongside. Bradley Wilson continues to show the way now. 4 car lengths out in front. About the top... this is the top 9 have pulled away. Alec Martinez has moved up to the 10th position. And he has Cody Adkins, Reggie Ortega, and a few others behind him. Kind of more running solo, running a single file configuration here, and not trying to slow each other up with the air, doing any side drafting. And here comes Alex starting to catch up to Daniel Cunningham with a little help from Cody Adkins. You can see just that straight line draft speed right there. Really help these guys on the straightaways. Then through the corners, it will hurt them to have that lack of air on the front. Meanwhile, Bradley Wilson sees the white and neon yellow 27 closing in from behind. It's 2 car lengths now, the distance. Bradley looks like he got a little bit tight there out of turn number 4. Still able to stretch it out just a couple more hundredths. Fastest car on the track last time around, that was Angelo Ronis, the number 17. He is up to the 4th position after starting in 6th, and a driver who needs to make a statement if he wants to make it to the final 4. And he has to do so far in the opening laps. Bradley Wilson's lead still shrinking just a bit, but see right there, Zach Carr, he has to lift. And that gap goes right back up to over 0.2 for just a moment there. And it'll shrink by a few hundredths down the straightaways, and then through the corner again, you see it goes right back up. On board here with the 27 machine, right where he started in the 2nd spot, and has not been able to claim the top position yet. Here comes Jeremy Miller, closes right up to the back of the 27. Those two swap positions on this restart. Look at that. Bradley Wilson now over 4/10 out in front. As long as he can maintain his tires a little bit better than what we've seen from him in the past, he's got clean air. He can do that. He can hang on to this lead, and these drivers behind him are going to have a tough time to catch up, especially if they start racing each other. There's Seth Hatchell, Joshua Abbey side by side. That is for 7th. As Hatchell down low. And Joshua Abbey will be able to complete the pass. Here comes Alec Martinez now going to try and follow suit. He's up to 9th. It could be that Hatchell is saving fuel, maybe saving tires. Tough to say exactly what is going on right here. Let's ride on board with him. Definitely lifting down into the corner, and you can see the arrow push right there. He drifts up the track just a little bit. And I think he may have just been getting freight trained on the inside, kind of the reverse of how you would expect that to work. But if you can keep the momentum up and push somebody down the corner, you make it really hard on them to try and complete a pass. Here's Reggie Ortega battling it up with Brandon Pearl. Reggie eliminated from round number 1, but one of the more consistent drivers, especially in the latter half of the regular season. Oh, and Brandon Pearl in the wall. Pushed it a little bit too hard out of turn 4. He'll lose his spot now to James Loveland. So easy to overstep that line when the car starts to push. Getting the throttle just a little bit too early. It can spell danger out of the exit of these corners. Now, a lot of racing going on back here. The 39 of Timmy Emanuele. And side by side, Zach Smith and Eric Lambert do scheme for the number 1 car. Dallas Sullivan, Chris Samard racing it up. This is for 18th and 19th. A lot of these drivers just topping up on fuel in the previous caution. We have a change for position back here, or up here rather, 7th and 8th. They had changed hands for a moment, but Martinez not quite able to clear him, but this time another good run out of 4. He will get alongside past the start-finish line. Trying to complete that pass, just not quite able to. Now he will clear him out of turn number 2. Down the backstretch, going to set his sights on Keith Mayato out in front. Alec, who we are accustomed to seeing save tires in a dramatic fashion, he will lose just a lot of positions early on in a race to eventually gain them back, and that's been the case so far. He fell outside the top 10 briefly, and now back up to where he started in 7th, and maybe with a little bit more tire, some of these guys in front of him. Starting to get a little bit strung out amongst the top 5. Bradley Wilson now over half a second in front of Jeremy Miller, who's gotten around that car. Possibly a moment there for Bradley Wilson. He may have clipped the outside wall, lost a lot of momentum for a moment there. You can see the gap now under a half second. What we were talking about, he's got to be careful not to use up his stuff too much like we've seen him do in the past. Got to be smooth right here and hang on to this. They are 20 laps into stage number 1. So 30 more to go before we get the break. Gap hovering right around a half second as Zach Carr looks down low, bringing Angelo Ronis right there with him. And Angelo definitely showing the speed that he's going to need to have to make it into that final 4, that championship round. Up here in 4th position, AJ Stravato behind him by a few car lengths, and then Keith Mayato about 3/4 of a second back from the 33. Hard racing back here. Seth Hatchell, Reggie Ortega, Cody Adkins as Hatchell continuing to run the low lane. He is just going backwards down there, though. Now going to lose 2 positions. If Reggie Ortega can clear him. And then James Loveland right there behind him. James going to jump to the high side as well. And this racetrack, Chicagoland, was the site of James Loveland's Xfinity win in last season's championship. He has not been to victory lane since that point in the league, but has had some really strong finishes and long run speed. And tonight might be a good opportunity for him to find his way up there into the top 5 and challenge for a victory. Right now running in the 11th position. At the front, the lead shrinking. Jeremy Miller closing in on Bradley Wilson. And then Zach Carr, he's lost a couple tenths. Or rather, lost a couple car lengths. Definitely good racing so far. You see the different approach to turn number 1. Jeremy Miller goes high, trying to carry that momentum down the backstretch. It's going to work for him. He closes that gap up now 2 car lengths. Going to ride right there in the wake of Bradley Wilson, who seeming to get tighter and tighter out of these corners. But able to stretch it out just a tiny bit right there. Top 5 now grouping back up, and it is a pretty big gap to Keith Mayato, who might be in save and conserve mode. Still half of stage number 1 to go. And he is company, though. Alec Martinez right there on the back bumper. And Alec doesn't look to be saving anymore. He is moving forward. One of the fastest cars, if not the fastest car on the racetrack. Reggie Ortega, Cody Adkins side by side a little bit farther back here. And let's see this battle, this cluster of race cars farther back. Brandon Pearl has fallen to the clutches of Timmy Emanuele now. Zach Smith, Eric Lambert, Chris Simard, and company all hanging back there. Look at this, though. Maybe a battle for the lead. Jeremy Miller gets the nose to the inside of Bradley Wilson. Going to drift up the racetrack a little bit. Almost contact out of turn number 4. And the 51 going to come right down across the nose. He was clear, but just barely. Jeremy not afraid to put the bumper to anybody. And maybe starting to smell some blood in the water as the 51 able to hold him off through 1 and 2, though. That's a good move right there to run the high side. Almost catches the wall down the backstretch. Look at this, nose to tail, the top 4. AJ Stravato right there in tow as well. Bradley Wilson going to stick to his guns, run the low lane right there through 3 and 4. Jeremy Miller a little bit higher up the racetrack. Going to close in here down the front stretch into turn number 1. Might have an opportunity to make a move. Not quite close enough. The 51 still going to hang a little bit lower in the corner. And Jeremy Miller going to do the reverse move. What happened last lap? Not quite able to break that bubble of air. I believe this is the most laps Bradley Wilson has led in a race. Definitely this season, probably in his below the double yellow racing league career. But he has got a big challenger behind him. That is Jeremy Miller. Now Bradley sticks up high, able to cut it down through the middle of the corner. Able to hold him off one more time. Keith Mayato, Alec Martinez side by side for 6th. Alec gets the nose out in front down the front straightaway here. Mayato is going to let him go, it looks like. At the front, Bradley Wilson still holding him off 2/10 the margin. Jeremy Miller maybe pushed a little bit too hard there over those few laps. Starting to feel the effects pretty heavily at the moment. He is definitely going the wrong way, and maybe Zach Carr a strike at his chance here. 60% of the way through stage number 1. It is Bradley Wilson. It's been Bradley Wilson all race long here at the front. And some battling definitely farther back in the field. You can see 2-3 wide back here. Jack Smith, Brandon Pearl, Eric Lambert, Alan Dice, and Dallas Sullivan. Chris Simard was able to get past Jimmy Emanuele and starting to go forward once again. The driver who started in 18th position, now up to 15th. And another line of race cars here behind Joshua Abbey. But they are starting to close in on Keith Maotto and Alec Martinez, possibly having saved some tire. Cody Adkins did bring it down pit road during the first caution and topped up on fuel. Both he and Reggie Ortega. James Loveland as well. Anthony Pelican looked like he took tires after the spin. That'll put him behind by one set, and they only have 4 total, 4 additional sets on top of what they started with. It's getting dicey back here. The 56 of Loveland looking on this battle, 2 wide in front of him. Cody Adkins, Seth Hatchell. They will settle that out. Hatchell back up to the top 10. And now Loveland going to peak high, maybe pull a little draft from the 5 car, but doesn't have quite enough of a run at the moment. There goes Reggie Ortega. Gets a little bit loose down on the apron. That transition can really bite you if you cross it at the wrong time or aren't expecting what it can do to the race car. Side by side out of turn number 2. Tight to the door there for Ortega. They streak down the backstretch. Joshua Abbey still the nose out in front. Here comes Hatchell, maybe going to look 3 wide. Might think better of it, though. Still has Cody Adkins down to his inside. Not quite clear. Now he clears him. Ryan set his sights on these 2 in front of him. Race leader Bradley Wilson out in front by 4/10 over Jeremy Miller. Zach Carr, Angelo Ronis, and AJ Scarbato, the top 5. Alec Martinez 6th. Keith Maotto in 7th. And that is where the battles begin with Joshua Abbey. Here comes Seth Hatchell. Good move to the outside of Ortega. Aggressively, almost got the gap right there. Going to stick to the high side, and Joshua Abbey struggling at the moment. Hatchell should be able to get by him here. Going to be really tight through the center of the corner. Hatchell pinches him down just a bit. Joshua Abbey starting to get tight there. Had to back out of it, and that will cost him. There goes Reggie Ortega and James Loveland. Cody Adkins next in line, and then Daniel Cunningham started in 8th and has not been able to make up any spots so far. Pretty well single file. Now the top 5 separated by 1 second, and then go back another second. You've got Alec Martinez, who's got about a second on Keith Maotto, and he's got about a half second over his teammate Seth Hatchell. I believe Seth was saving some fuel early on in this run, maybe saving the tires as well, and he is starting to move back towards the front. One of the fastest cars, if not the fastest car on the track. Behind him, it is James Loveland, who's worked his way into the top 10 like we thought he might. And Reggie Ortega down low. Trying to hold him back, get a little side draft maybe on that left rear quarter panel, but looks like Loveland, to run the high side, should be able to clear him down the backstretch. He will with the push from Cody Adkins. Cody going to try and work his way around Ortega. Really tight out of 4 between those 2, still side by side. That's the battle for 10th. Back a little farther side by side. Jeremiah Vincent, Alan Dice. Jeremiah, his first career league win coming last night at Daytona. In honor of his uncle. Just edged out Keith Mayato by 14 one-thousandths of a second. It was a very exciting finish. The second closest in league history. Zach Carr going to work towards pit lane now. He may just do a quick flash and go, but this will cost him a lot of time. Could put him in danger of going a lap down. He does bring it in, though. Does that mean that the leaders are going to have to come down as well? Here comes Bradley Wilson from the lead. He will bring it in. That hands Jeremy Miller his first opportunity to lead, or maybe not. Angelo Ronas at the line, got that lap led. That bonus point could be extremely valuable. And here comes Alec Martinez, and they will put a lap on Zach Carr, and Zach did not take tires, fuel only for the 27. But one lap down. We'll see if the rest of these drivers bring it in. Alec did take a quick splash and go during the previous yellow flag, and he has marched his way now to second. Angelo Ronas to the point. Could have a good shot at victory lane, showing really good speed tonight as we see Joshua Abbey working off the pit road. Also, there is Bradley Wilson, who had an extended stop. Brandon Pearl as well. Looks like they both took tires. Perhaps the strategy is going to be to save as much as they can of those tires, but interesting call right there. Jeremy Miller, he brings it in from the second position. Angelo Ronas now getting passed up by Alec Martinez, and we'll see if these guys can make it. But Alec Martinez now to the top spot. Zach Carr not too far behind these guys, trying to get back on the lead lap the hard way. And here comes Angelo Ronas. He'll bring it in. Alec Martinez, who did stop under that first yellow flag, still on the racetrack. Jeremy Miller, here he comes working off the pit lane just barely. He has made contact with the outside wall at some point here in stage one. Heavy damage to the right side. Alec Martinez 2 to 3/10 faster than these guys behind him, and he's only got a few more laps to go. We'll see if anybody else brings it in. Angelo Ronas, fuel only. The call for the 17. He may just have a good opportunity to stay on the lead lap. Look at that, wheeling it off of pit road. He might just get off up the track in front of the 18. No, gonna get passed up right there. This will be the fight for the lucky dog if they can't get by Martinez. The 17 and the 27, as Mayato slow right now, losing positions, trying to save fuel. And car in the wall, Cody Adkins right in front of Reggie Ortega, 3 wide for the moment. That was a pretty solid impact. Here's the 17 trying to work his way back on the lead lap. And got slowed up there by the dirty air. The sun's come out as well. This could be huge for the championship if Angelo Ronas gets trapped one lap down. It's been a pretty clean race. Is Zach Carr now to the lucky dog position? 2 laps to go in stage number 1. It's Martinez with a 1.6 second gap back to AJ Stravato. Multiple lap cars in between them. And you can see actually Bradley Wilson on those fresh tires making good use of them. He's going to try and get back on the lead lap. Here he goes to the inside of Ronas. Inside of the 27, Alec Martinez is going to try and get in the way a little bit. And there goes Bradley. No contest whatsoever across the stripe. Should get the lap back. Problem is he's already taken a set of tires as well. Here comes Zach Carr. The door's been open for him. This is a huge moment in this race as Alec Martinez, the race leader, nearly catches the wall. Still side by side, there is Ronis behind him. Those two working together to try and unlap themselves. And Alec Martinez, he knows the implications of this moment. He can keep both of these cars one lap down. And he just might, looks like Zach Carr will beat him back to the stripe. Alec Martinez wins the stage. And that will give Angelo Ronis the lucky dog, so lucky break there, but Jeremy Miller trapped a lap down without taking tires. Just topped up on fuel. Joshua Abbey, Eric Lambert, Brandon Pearl all going to be trapped one lap down here through this green flag stage 1 run. A lot of guys really slow right now, trying to conserve as much fuel as possible. And Alec Martinez, he was able to drive away by pretty big distance. I think it was almost 2 seconds, maybe 2.5. And Angelo Ronis maybe thanking Zach Carr that he got to the line before the 18, because that could have been disaster really for him. Someone who needs to get a lot of good points here. But how about Alec Martinez winning the stage? The bold call to hit under the first caution, not knowing how the race was going to go. Able to use that extra fuel and stage win, and he'll get some fresh tires right here. Is Jeremy Miller going to like to stay out? Oh, he has to stay out because he is a lap down. Either way, Alec Martinez leads most of the field down pit road. James Loveland peels off into his box. Novato, Hatchell, Cody Adkins, Reggie Ortega, Keith Mayato, Daniel Cunningham, Pelican started to work his way back forward as well. We'll be right back after this round of pit stops. A quick commercial break. Back at the racetrack now, Alec Martinez, the stage winner, wins the battle off of pit road. Let's see if we can pull him in here to talk real quickly. Alec Martinez, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
I do.
Oh, Alec, it worked out pretty much perfectly there for you. You pit under the first caution flag, able to run it out and have enough fuel there at the end. Well, it looked like everyone was saving. How's the car feeling for you, and how happy are you that things fell that way?
She's driving good in clean air. She's driving perfect, but she had to hold on to it. Remember, just got to keep that clean air for the first few laps. Hopefully, don't wreck like what happened at Gateway. When you interviewed me last time, so let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're looking good right now. Came from the back, got a few spots on the first, then the caution came out with Anthony, and then able to top off, and that's it. Maybe be able to make it all the way comfortably. So worked out. I know I tracked a few guys a lap down, so let's see what we can do here. If we can go green to the end, we'll be liking what we're seeing.
How hard were you battling there to keep Zach and Angelo both a lap down, or were you planning to try to let those guys go?
I was trying hard to keep Zach behind me, and I know Zach's probably one of the biggest guys to beat here. He's usually really fast here, so I was trying my all that I had in the tires left to try to keep him behind me. Still, nonetheless, he would have been the first car lap down. Now that I think about it, so it's like it matters in a way, but I don't know if it matters too much. But we'll see what happens. I said I was trying, but you know, I'm sure he'll get back up here in no time. So we're just gotta keep working out of here, and hopefully we can come away with the win and lock ourselves into the championship 4. If not, just have a really good run today and get ourselves above the cut line.
Yes, sir, and looking good so far. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you, man.
All right. And as Alec Martinez enter here in stage number 1, doing exactly what he needs to do to get himself in position for stage number 2. And AJ Stravato able to save enough fuel. He comes second in the stage. And Seth Hatchell, James Loveland, Reggie Ortega going to be restarting in the top 5. And here we go, pace car off. Alec Martinez in control of this restart. He'll get us going. Green flag in the air. Off and away once again for the Shenandoah Shine 225 from Chicagoland. Zach Smith way up the racetrack back there. They're 2, 3, 4 wide farther back in the field. They work down into turn number 1 once again, still 2, 3 wide. Jeremy Miller still 1 lap down here. Gonna have to work from behind, try and get into the lucky dog position. Right there in front of him, Eric Lambert, the one he's gonna have to get around. And these two, no strangers to each other this season. See how hard he pushes the 3 machine. If they end up finding each other here as this run goes on. And out in front, Alec Martinez, he's already stretched it out 3/10. Now Seth Hatchell to the 2nd position. Reggie Ortega takes over 3rd. Keith Mayato, AJ Stravato. Chris Simard up here in the top 10, now in 6th. Zach Carr has already worked his way back into 7th position. 27 machine has not found the race lead this point in the race. Oh, close racing there, though, side by side. Anthony Pelican and Zach Carr, and here comes James Loveland, who's still up in the top 10. Driver for Team Red Speed, continuing to impress, now 8th position. Emanuele finds himself in the top 10. Good, strong run from him as well. Daniel Cunningham, 11th. Bradley Wilson, who was the race leader early on, did not... He did bring it back in, so maybe he took tires. Let's take a look at a 13-second stop. Right now trapped mid-pack in the 12th position is the 51, who had 41 laps of this race and looked like he would have been on his way to the stage win. Jeremy Miller continuing to work forward. Almost contact there with Cody Adkins as they race tight out of turn number 2. Things heating up at the front, though. Hatchell closing in now, just a car length and a half behind Alec Martinez. Count out this number 8 machine. This is a good track for him. Good on the long runs. Here comes Reggie Ortega, though, going to try and make that 22 stick down there in the inside. Gets into the 8 car. They get a little bit of door banging there out of turn 2 and able to hang on to it. Oh, and a little more contact. Hatchell gets hit by the 22 of Ortega. I don't know what's going on right there. Just a little bit too tight on the side draft. We saw Reggie make that mistake last week. It took out Keith Mayato. Right now, Hatchell able to clear, and he'll go to 2nd, side by side for 3rd. That's going to be Reggie Ortega and Keith Mayato. Here comes AJ Stravato, who started this run on the front row. Chris Simard, Zach Carr, Anthony Pelican, James Loveland, all the top contenders, the fastest cars on the track tonight. They're coming towards the front. The only ones that aren't up here, Jeremy Miller and Bradley Wilson. Currently, Jeremy Miller 24th out of 24 drivers in this race. 1 lap down. Joshua Abbey here in front of him, and then Eric Lambert, who Jeremy was racing around. I wonder if we can see what happened here. Go back a little bit farther. Might be too far back. Oh, he tried to go real wide, or real low, rather, and that really slowed him up, but Jeremy Miller able to hang on to it at least. Not where he wants to be in this race. Joshua Abbey, 23rd, 1 lap down, also got trapped a lap down. Eric Lambert is now racing his way into what would be the top 10. He scored 22nd, 1 lap down, did a right front damage on that race car. Oh, we've got cars sliding here. That's Cody Adkins. No yellow flag, but heavy right side contact and rear end damage. And maybe a technical failure there. Let's go find out what happened. Oh, and he got into the 9. Jeremiah Vincent, a hard hit there. Might have broken the steering entirely. Good save by Jeremiah, who's trying to go 2 for 2 this week after winning last night. Not good news for Cody Adkins, who's now on pit lane. Going to be 2 laps down. That'll promote Jeremy Miller up to 23rd and a few others up another spot. Hard hit there for the 81. Side by side now, Zach Carr and Reggie Ortega. Mayato, AJ Stravato, Seth Hatchell. Alec Martinez starting to pull away just a little bit, breaking that draft down the backstretch. See how Seth Hatchell is coping with the dirty air. Definitely lifting pretty hard on entry to the corner, but he's maintaining right around 0.4 of a second. But the problem is these guys behind him, they're starting to close up just a little bit, and they are stacked up here nose to tail. James Loveland right here in the middle of this. Side by side, Anthony Pelican and Daniel Cunningham. Chris Samard in the mix. Here comes Eric Lambert now back down to the inside. And the 3 cars already gotten into the 99. So maybe going to cut him a little bit of slack right here as Anthony battling to get inside the top 4. Really tight right there for the 3. He's going to have to back out of it. That'll bring Timmy Emanuele back around the outside. Timmy hanging right up here in 11th. Keeping right up with this lead pack. Good run so far for him as we are approaching halfway. Seth Hatchell starting to feel some pressure from Mayato, Stravato, that car, and this whole train of race cars that are pretty much single file. That car trying to cut the distance down right there as he works down the apron. And he's got the 22 of Ortega right on his bumper. Here's Smart, who went high on entry, going to be able to close up. Out of turn number 2, peaks low. He'll stay in line. Time carries a lot of speed down into the corner. Might get to the outside of Ortega. And he will be there, going to try and make the move to the high side. He'll bring James Loveland with him, the red speed, V-speed connection right there. They will make the pass on the 22. At least Mard will be able to do that. Loveland leaving a bit of a gap there. Here comes Reggie, though, challenging back down low. Going to be able to side draft him just a little bit here on the backstretch. 2 by 2 they go. The top 5 single file starting to pull away just a little bit. Mard able to get around Reggie Ortega. Finally, he'll go to 6th. Reggie back to 7th, and James Loveland here 8th. Daniel Cunningham looks down low, dives it in there, not able to get underneath. He rides 9th, and Anthony Pelican, the 99, rounding out the top 10. Bit of a battle back here. Timmy Emanuele and Eric Lambert not on the same lap. They are racing each other really hard right now. Couple teammates back here, Jeremiah Vincent and Lyle Sulfridge. Lyle in that 7-Up machine. I believe that was one of his throwback cars. Definitely a cool, simple paint scheme. Zach Smith up here 16th, one of his better runs this season. Bradley Wilson has not had any luck since he's been trapped mid-pack. He's actually just gone backwards now, 15th position for the pole sitter, who led 41 laps in the dirty air. Not really working out for Bradley right now as he is running that high groove right up by the outside wall. Thought I saw a change for position. Looks like Daniel Cunningham going the wrong direction. There goes Anthony Pelican. Here's Reggie Ortega. He's gotten around Chris Samard. Closes back up now on AJ Stravato, and it looks like Zach and AJ may have switched positions. Seth Hatchell now got a bumper full of his teammate, and now Keith will go to the high side, as they have not let Alec Martinez get away very far. Seth able to slide up in front, backs him up just a little bit, nose to tail down into turn number 3. Everybody looking for a little bit of fresh air. The 27 of Zach Carr a little higher than 2 in front of him. Has to lift just a bit right there, as Mayato had to lift with the 8 car coming up the track. Now side by side for 3rd and 3rd through 6th. Hatchell has cut the gap down from about 4/10 now to under 2. That car not able to complete the pass for 3rd. Mayato will take that. Here comes Chris Samard, gonna give some assistance to AJ Stravato. Reggie Ortega down there still battling with the 37. AJ Stravato lost all kinds of momentum right there. Now cuts up in front of Chris Samard. Side by side for 3rd. This is exactly what Alec Martinez wants to see, because those guys not really able to provide assistance to Hatchell. Is not really gaining or losing a whole lot of time. They're pretty equal between these top 2. They will be closing in on the lap machine of Jeremy Miller, who's got heavy right side damage and now left rear damage to boot. There are the leaders just there behind him, Jeremy Miller. See what he does, how these guys get around him, but definitely well off the pace right now. He's about 15 miles an hour too slow. Hoping for a yellow flag. Already 1 lap down. Last place of the drivers still on the racetrack. Cody Adkins taking it behind the wall. Jeremy Miller in 23rd, about to go a 2nd lap down. And a race that's looking pretty promising, kind of just now going completely the wrong direction. Alec Martinez is going to put him 2 laps down, as the rest of the leaders going to try and file on by. Jeremy in trouble right here. Really needs a miracle at this point. He'll need at least 2 or 3 more cautions. And that's just not the way this race has looked right now. It's been very clean, very single file. Car racing it up a little bit back here. Car on the wall. That is Bradley Wilson. Rather 51, pushing the envelope, running up there on the high side. Finally bit him right there. Gets a bit of right side damage. Continuing to fall through the field. James Loveland able to complete a pass right there on Reggie Ortega. He'll go to 7th, continuing to march forward. Up from 19th, one of the biggest movers, along with Chris Samard, who's up from 18th. Biggest mover, I believe, would be Timmy Emanuele in the top 10. Started 21st. Alan Dice up to 12th after starting 22nd. Really good job by those drivers. Dallas Sullivan up 7 positions. Zach Smith up 9 positions. Really good, solid race by a lot of these drivers. Jeremiah Vincent started 16th, right where he is running. Trying to get up to the 15th spot. Pass on Bradley Wilson. The battle for the race lead heating up. Alec Martinez, who's now led 40 laps. Gonna start to feel the pressure here from Seth Hatchell, who closed up to under 1 car length headed into turn 3. That gap gonna be very similar down into turn number 1. Hatchell using the high lane, a bit different than the rest of these leaders. He may get a really good run here off of turn number 2. Look at the speed down the backstretch, closing in. It's less than a car length this time, and he's going to run right in the tire tracks of Alec Martinez. Maybe tried to play a little mind games with him and see if Alec would go up to the high side. But that was not the case, and Seth now maybe in danger of losing second as here comes Zach Carr. To tail down the backstretch for 2nd and 3rd. AJ Stravato right there behind them. Keith Maioto, Chris Samard, James Loveland, Reggie Ortega. Throw a blanket over the top 9. And it's a couple seconds back to Timmy Emanuele. Now battle for 2nd. Here comes Zach Carr to the high side. They both go down to the apron. This could be trouble for Hatchell, who's going to get freight trained. Really close out of turn number 2. Here's maybe a battle for the lead as Zach Carr closes right up on Alec Martinez. See if he can work through this dirty air and actually make a run at it. Alec has not been able to pull away like Bradley Wilson was. Could be saving his stuff a little bit for when those challengers finally arrive, but nobody's been able to get to him entirely. As we've got Brandon Pearl slow down on the apron, just made a pit stop. Really fast one though, 12.8. That may have been 2 tires and fuel. He will go a 2nd lap down, leaving us with 17 on the lead lap. Daniel Cunningham did pit about 6 laps ago. Now Timmy Emanuele getting pressure from Angelo Ronas, and Angelo, who found himself in the race lead at one point. Really, really fast there in stage 1. After getting trapped a lap down at the end of the stage, he's had to recover from the back. He has continued to move forward, but the problem is plus 4 seconds to those leaders, and it'd be really hard to track them down under green like this. Seth Hatchell finally settles in line. He's in 5th, right between Keith Maioto and Reggie Ortega, and then Chris Samard right here behind Reggie. You can see the 00, Brandon Pearl, having just pit. He appears to be loose. It's hard to say, but here's Daniel Cunningham as well on fresh tires. Those two right up here in the mix with the leaders. This could get really interesting. These drivers just need to be aware of what's going on behind them, as there goes the 00. Gonna dive it down in low. Daniel Cunningham goes high. Now they're gonna split Reggie Ortega. Brandon Pearl really struggling, even on the fresh tires. He has not been able to get past these guys very well. You can see just really doesn't have good control of the car right now. I'm thinking he took 2 tires. As Chris Savard all over his bumper. Meanwhile, Daniel Cunningham working around the outside of AJ Servato. He's about to get to Zach Carr as well. Should be able to get him at the end of the straightaway right here. Just one more car and he'll be back on the lead lap. That is the race leader there in front of him. And check up just a bit. They are also approaching, that's the 5 machine of Joshua Abbey, who's already 1 lap down and not pit yet, so in danger of going a 2nd lap down. I think he may have right side damage. Bradley Wilson gonna bring it down pit road. Heavy right rear damage on that car after catching the wall. May see some leaders start to bring it in here in about 2 or 3 laps. Alec Martinez leads. Daniel Cunningham's unlapped himself. Here comes Brandon Pearl. Try to get back to 1 lap down. He gets really loose right in front of Zach Carr, who has to check up. And here comes AJ Stravato with the run. But he's not going to make the move on the 27. Maybe seeing that 00 not really handling very well. He goes around the high side. See when these leaders elect to bring it in. It is about to get very interesting. The slow car of Joshua Abbey. You've got the 00s on 2 tires and not handling well. Brandon able to finally unlap himself and get going. As the battle for the lead now. Zach Carr to the high side. Alec Martinez, I think, had to slow up with the 00 out there. Here goes Alex. Still has a little bit of clean air, but Zach Carr with the nose in front, the advantage out of turn 4. He's going to get some help from Stravato. Zach Carr to the point for the first time tonight. Approaching lap 100 pit stops. He's starting here pretty soon. Alec Martinez dives it in deep there into turn number 1, but just cannot get the run. He's going to slot right up in front of Mayato, who's going to dive to the inside. And here goes AJ Stravato as well. Keith Bustel going to make some contact right there. And they survive it. A little bit of net code helping them this time. Now Alec charging back to the high side around Stravato. Can Alec Martinez reclaim the top spot? Got the 5 machine of Joshua Abbey. Could he be instrumental in this? He's going to go all the way to the bottom, but he'll be on the bottom lane right here. Zach Carr not able to use the inside. 18 of Alec Martinez going to try and cut down that distance a little bit. Good run for Alec as he closes into 1 car length. Group of leaders making their way around Joshua Abbey. No problems there. That is a good sign. Josh will go 1 lap down, or 2 laps down now. Jeremy Miller also 2 laps down. He's on pit road. This should be 3 laps down. And a huge hole to dig out of with time running out. Meanwhile, his teammate has claimed the top spot. Already a 6-time winner this season. He's got the lead with 50 to go. They are definitely stretching this run out. They're 47 laps into it, including those initial pace laps. works to the high side. He'll get there. And he'll give a push to AJ Servato. Now jumps to his outside. Not going to have enough speed to get to the quarter panel, and he will push AJ down in turn 1. Single file among the top 10 here. Anthony Pelican in that 9th position, actually, is the last one in the lead group. Joshua Abbey, the lap car behind them. Big Joshua's going to bring it to pit road. 4 other drivers, possibly. Eric Lambert looks like he'll be bringing it in. Takers farther back, hoping to maybe gain some track position. There's Jeremy Miller, who's now going to go 5 laps down, and he is sliding on the apron through the grass. After a nearly 1-minute pit stop to get some damage fixed, that car not handling to his liking, and basically in a hole that he is not going to be able to climb out of. As we've got a lot of takers to pit road. AJ Servato leads him in. He's going to get a little contact from the aid of Seth Hatchell. Alec Martinez, Chris Samard, Anthony Pelican, Reggie Ortega. Nat Carr, Mayato, and James Loveland now the top 3. There is Angelo Ronas. Must have brought it in already. Did 10 laps ago. Here comes Zach Carr, aiming towards pit road. Look at Mayato wheeling it down to the braking zone, able to close up nicely there, and so did James Loveland. They both closed in just a bit. How much will that single lap affect that margin that Zach Carr had? AJ Servato wins the battle off. Here comes Alec Martinez. This AJ a little bit sideways on the apron here. Is that going to hurt his momentum? There's Bradley Wilson, who hit 9 laps ago. Gonna slot in right here with these guys. No, Cunningham gonna take over the lead. Remember, he hit 22 laps ago on a bit of a two-stop strategy to make it to the end of this race. He can't make it from here. Angelo Ronas in second. He hit 12 laps ago, and there is Zach Carr, Keith Mayato, and others on the apron, and these guys going to fly right on by. AJ Stravato, Alec Martinez, Seth Hatchell, Bradley Wilson, Reggie Ortega, Chris Samard, Anthony Pelican, and then we got Zach Carr in 10th. Keith Mayato in the 11th position. 1 lap to go from 1st and 2nd, 10th and 11th. AJ Servato, the net leader from that group, but Angelo Ronas and Daniel Cunningham, they're still well out in front. Angelo's got 6 seconds back to AJ Servato, running about a second a lap slower. Daniel Cunningham running even slower than that out in front. These guys are hoping for a yellow flag, that's for sure. They might just get it with how hard these guys are racing here. Look at Hatchell now to the outside of Alec Martinez. Reggie Ortega right there. Alec going to start curving a little bit. Chris Samard up here racing towards the top 5. Race for the lead is starting to close up as well. Cunningham out in front. Now led 4 laps. He is in front of Angelo Ronas by about 1.2 seconds, and Ronas about a half second a lap faster. And he is Servato about 1.2 faster than Angelo Ronas last time by. So he'll get there in about 3 laps. Angelo gonna get Daniel in advance of that, and will we see any kind of yellow flag to reset the field? 0-0, Brandon Pearl 1 lap down. At 21 laps ago. Has not been his night. Change of hands for the 6th spot is Zach Carr working to the inside of Alec Martinez. And where is Keith Mayato? He is still back here in 10th. Maybe saving his stuff a little bit, but Zach Carr just drove right away from him. Gotta wonder, is he maybe burning his stuff up a little bit too quickly? Right now riding in 7th position. Mayato and Loveland working together right here, just a little bit of draft. I don't think either of them have any damage, so I'm not sure. Oh, maybe a little bit on the nose of the 36 machine. And just a touch there on the left front. Daniel Cunningham going to fall into the clutches of these leaders. AJ Stravato now to the point. They've also gotten around Angelo Ronas 2-3 wide, and they're battling for it hard right here. There goes Zach Carr to the inside. It was 3 wide. They're going to take it 3 wide again with Reggie Ortega. And this is tight racing right here. This is not where you want to be, fighting to advance into the championship 4 if you are Alec Martinez or Zach Carr or Seth Hatchell. But Alec going to be able to clear the 22 around the outside, and it looks like Zach Carr, he's going to be stuck there still with the 22 of Reggie Ortega. Zach side by side with Seth Hatchell, who's able to power around on the high side. Every lap that Zach runs down there on the inside lane, more tire wear he is taking, trying to keep it off of these cars above him. AJ Stravato, he's got the race lead. First time tonight. Alec Martinez behind him, about 4/10 that gap. He's got to be careful. It looked like he might have pushed a little too hard on the opening laps of this run. Alec starting to close in right now, and Reggie Ortega, but yellow flag's gonna fly. That is the 30 of Jeremy Miller. It looks like he has hit the wall very hard, has come to rest on the apron. That is gonna be a huge hit. Looks like his race is over. Lost control down there on the apron. Something happened, a technical problem. The wheel hard locked to the left. He goes nose first. And a massive hit. On board with him here. Yeah, something broke right here. The wheel goes all the way around for him, like his wheel disconnected. That is so unfortunate for a driver who is already having a bad night. Maybe this is a little bit of relief for him, honestly. Have to run the rest of the race, but huge hit. He'll have to be surely in a must-win situation leaving here today. But this changes things up for sure, as we'll have a shorter run. Alec Martinez looks like he has some front-end damage. What happened there? Go back and find out what happened here. Oh, he ran right into AJ. Getting onto pit road. Travato will win the battle off, and then Reggie Ortega, Seth Hatchell, Chris Samard, Zach Carr, Keith Mayato. See the damage there on the back of the 33. That could affect him. Who We work under the third caution of the race. Only 6 lead changes, a lot of those coming in rapid succession. But, a lot of guys holding on to it for a good amount of time. Work under the yellow flag. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Back at the racetrack now, AJ Stravado, your race leader. You'll have Reggie Ortega, Seth Hatchell, Zach Carr, Chris Samard, the top 5. Keith Mayato, 6th. Then Anthony Pelican, Angelo Ronas, James Loveland, Daniel Cunningham, top 10. Did work out pretty well for Angelo Ronas, who's going to be back in the swing of things here. Up inside the top 10. He's on equal tires. He could be a driver to watch out for to charge towards the front. Be all about this restart. Who's going to get a good launch? Who's going to be able to make up some spots early on? AJ Stravado with the rear end damage. Alec Martinez, after sitting on pit road for 37 seconds, he'll restart 16th. You see him way back there in the high side. Green flag back in the air. Reggie Ortega, he'll take the lead away from AJ Stravado. Here comes Zach Carr to try and work the inside line. Not going to be able to get there. Seth Hatchell slots into 3rd. Stravado falls to 4th after that first lap. And Angelo Ronas, look at this. Charging forward, battling for the top 5 position. Keith Mayato still hanging tough on the high side. Looks like Chris Samard collected a bit of right front damage. Not sure how that happened. They are going at it here just inside and outside the top 10. Look at this. Alan Dice going to go looking to make it 3 wide possibly. He'll jump back up to the high side. Alec Martinez marching forward up to 11th, but heavy nose damage on that car. And I think he got even a little bit more on the restart after possibly running into Zach Smith. We'll see if he got any on the back, just a touch there. But either way, the top 3 fighting for it up here. Seth Hatchell's taking over second. Can he get to the point and drive away? He'll push Reggie down into turn number 3. Has to lift off the throttle and set down the hill right in front of Zach Carr. Zach going to give him a shot through the tri-oval here. Really hard push. Look at the speed, though, like a tandem draft. That'll push Seth up the hill on entry. He'll try and carry that momentum onto the back straightaway, though, as he cuts down. You get a nice straight run off. Keith Mayato still battling with AJ Servato as those two fighting for every point they can, coming into this race so close. Up there in the top 4. Then Anthony Pelican, who's had a very resilient night. Driver who started 10th, got hooked around in the first 5 laps, went all the way to last. And he is up here fighting for it as well. Angelo Ronas got trapped a lap down. He's up here in 7th. Alec Martinez now trying to get back in the top 10. The only driver who's had problems they have not been able to recover from is Jeremy Miller, who's gone behind the wall after the hard impact in turn number 1. He'll come home. It looks to be 23rd tonight's race. While Reggie Ortega seeing these guys fight behind him. That is Zach Carr to second now. Hatchell jumps up to the high lane. AJ Servato trying to get in there. Just cannot get in there. That almost pushed Mayato up into the wall. They really did check up the 33. Here comes Anthony Pelican. Who does he go with? Looks like down the backstretch, Anthony Pelican going to try and provide a little drafting assistance to Keith Mayato. That might be enough to get him up into 4th. But how about Zach Carr, who was charging through the field before the yellow flag flew? Now in 2nd, going to try and track down Reggie Ortega, who's having a great run here tonight. Started 13th. He's now been at the point for 8 laps. AJ Servato continuing to fall the wrong direction. He's going to try and slide up in front of James Loveland. Just gets up in there. Angelo Ronas now to 6th. Anthony Pelican in the top 5. Six of the top 7 are playoff drivers as we have a battle. Angelo Ronas and Anthony Pelican. The only driver in that top 7 that is not a playoff driver is Reggie Ortega, who's the race leader after being eliminated from the playoffs last week. Doing exactly what he needs to do here. The Virtual Racing League machine out in front, trying to prove probably deserved to be in that top 8. Just bad circumstances late in the race took him out of it. Angelo Ronas able to slip into the top 8. He is making the most of his opportunity right now, running in the top 5. One of his best performances this season. And also another resilient one where he's come from the back. What it's looking like from Dallas Sullivan's hood cam. Pretty well single file there for a moment, but we do have side by side right in front of AJ Servato. That is Anthony Pelican and Angelo Ronas. Doing a little bit of bobbling down into turn 1 from the 99 and the 33. Anthony slipping up the racetrack. Has to back out of it. Here comes Loveland, going to give a shove to AJ Servato. Daniel Cunningham now going to try and take advantage. He goes down low. He backed out of it hard right there. James Loveland almost catches the outside wall. That'll open up the door once again for Anthony Pelican. How about Alec Martinez, though, not able to get really any farther forward than this. Laps are running out. Less than 20 to go. It's Reggie Ortega in front by 3 car lengths. Anthony Pelican not able to make the move on James Loveland. They settle back in line. Chris Simard was battling with Daniel Cunningham for a few moments there. And here comes Alec Martinez to try and get to the inside as the 37 off the wall. Checks them all up. That will give a spot to Martinez, but hurting the 37, Chris Simard, who had a pretty strong run through the first 90% of this race, but just getting a little bit too much the right side damage there, and he is starting to go backwards. Looking like it could be a battle between these top two, or could be one of the V-Speed machines. Could it be Angelo Rodas or AJ Servato? Still plenty of time in this race to find out, but you're going to start making that move, that charge towards the front. Some of those guys a little farther back would have to get going in about 5 laps. That car, he is trying everything, really sending it down deep in the corner. That time it stuck a little bit better. He closes up now 2 car lengths. The V-Speed machine's now linked up behind. Hatchell gets a shove from his teammate, Keith Maiato. Behind them, Angelo Ronas starting to close in, and then AJ Servato and James Loveland. This group of 5 cars trying to track the leaders back down. You can see the gap was about 6/10 between Hatchell and Zach Carr, and that has cut down about 2/10. That car is there. He is all over the back bumper of Reggie Ortega. And a huge run here out of turn 2. Might just be able to get an opportunity headed into turn 3. And Reggie probably using the mirror to hold him off right now. Got to pour that dirty air on the nose. Trying to play spoiler up here. Literally and metaphorically trying to take a win away from a championship driver. Get one for himself. Be a bit bittersweet taking home the victory today after missing out just by a few points last week. Hatchell and Maiato continuing to close up. Reggie Ortega nearly caught the wall right there, but able to actually keep his foot in it. Bit of changing conditions. We see sunlight on portions of the racetrack. Hatchell now within 3.5 of the top 2. A big push there from Angelo Rodas. Almost got to the outside of his teammate. See what Seth is doing though. Higher entry, cuts down in the center. Able to get enough downforce on the front of his car. He is making good time, a 10th faster than Reggie Ortega last lap, and we'll see if he can continue that. It's going to be 10 to go. Coming to the stripe this time, the top 7, all within 1 second. Got to go about 3/4 back to Anthony Pelican, who's collected a bit of right front damage. Daniel Cunningham 9th. Alec Martinez has found the top 10. Sure, he's going to be looking for a bit more in this one. Reggie Ortega defending admirably here. He has been able to hold off winningest driver this season. And last year's champion. Doing a really great job. Angelo Ronas, though, he's gotten up to 4th around Maiato and Stravato. And AJ and Keith, Keith and AJ, hard block there from the 36. That puts Stravato in the wall. And they're going to be side by side here. Out of turn number 2, maybe a little more contact as AJ trying to push Keith up the hill. They are racing hard back here. There could be a yellow from that, and that would just change things entirely. But the top 4 have broken away a little bit. Angelo Ronas included. What a drive from him tonight. Enters into this race, no wins. Bottom of the top 8. They're just barely making it through. He is racing with the best of them right now. Opportunity here possibly as Reggie Ortega nearly catches the wall. They'll be side by side headed into turn number 1. This could be the opportunity for Zach Carr. Could pull a slide job. Sends it in deep. He will pull the slide job. Reggie backs out of it. And they both nearly catch the wall. Here comes Hatchell. Gonna go to the inside 3 wide for a moment. And Hatchell gonna try and get through to the lead. He sends it in deep. Nearly contact with Zach Carr. That may open up a door for Reggie Ortega to get back into the lead. He gets a great run. Here comes Angelo Ronas. Here comes Maiato. Side by side for the lead at the line. 5 laps to go next time around. Reggie Ortega takes the lead away. What a battle. Slide job after slide job right there. And that has brought Maiato back into the fold. The top 5 have driven away side by side for the race lead out of 4. Now maybe 3 wide as Hatchell. He's going to go right up to the outside barrier. Reggie Ortega in the middle. Battle for second is 3 wide. Zach Carr is to the lead. Here comes Hatchell, though. Huge run on the high side. Oh, and he's going to get a little contact from Zach Carr, but it's not going to matter. Seth Hatchell to the lead. 5 laps remaining, coming back to 4 to go. There have been 3 different leaders in the last 2 laps. There's a little brush there for the 22. And Seth Hatchell, who was waiting there in 3rd for so long, waiting for that opportunity. Can he get a victory, his 2nd of the season, and lock his way into the championship 4? Breaking the draft down the backstretch, not seeming to work a whole lot for him. What is Maiato going to do? Is he going to push his teammate or push his rival up to his teammate? Right now, he's not even able to get to the 27. 3 laps remaining. This has gotten wild, and it is far from over. But what an impressive move by Seth Hatchell. He just swung it around the high side 3 wide, and then he kept it up there and able to get to the outside of Zach Carr. That could be the race-winning move here as he is pulling away. But it is not over yet, coming back to 2 to go. One little mistake could open the door, and it looks like he did get a bit tight there. Here comes Zach Carr, big run down the front stretch. Side by side farther back, James Loveland, AJ Stravato. AJ with a bit of damage on his race car now. Here we go. Coming towards the last lap, the gap under 2 car lengths. Look at that big dive into turn 3. Zach Carr going to try and get as much grip as possible. It's not going to work for him. He has to check up big time. And here comes Maiato. Going to be able to get a big run. He'll go to the high side. And Seth Hatchell all by himself out in front. It's a 1/4 second the difference. Slide job from Zach Carr for 2nd spot. able to hold off my auto for the moment, but Seth Hatchell streaking down the backstretch towards turn number 3. The number 8, last year's champion, he's going back to fight for another one. He wins in Chicagoland. What an incredible battle among these top 5. You will not see anything better than that. And Seth Hatchell played it perfectly, went around the high side. Everybody else was all caught up with trying to get down to the bottom. He goes high, completely unaccounted for. He takes that lead away, able to hold on to it for the last 5 laps of this race. The only time he led here this evening. His second win of the season. Going to try and repeat here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series as champion. And he will burn it down here on the front stretch. What a win for Seth Hatchell. Maybe one of his most satisfying here in this league. He gets it done tonight. Shenandoah Shine 225. We'll be right back to interview him and the rest of our top 3.
I'm Jonathan Proper.
Simulators Anonymous is an online gaming community. The heart of this community is playing simulator-style games, everything from driving, farming, flying to the occasional survival game. We would love for you to join us. If you play these style of games, or if you're just looking for a great community, we strive to be a community you can be an active participant in by offering events like every third Saturday night is a late night trucking on Truckers MP. We have a very own Minecraft server with other servers starting soon. Come join Simulators Anonymous today at www.simulatorsanonymous.com.
Back at the racetrack now, going to be bringing in our race winner here tonight. Seth Hatchell, Adam in the VSP booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, happy Thanksgiving. You took it home here tonight. What a drive. You take it to the high side and able to drive right around all of those guys. They're fighting down there in the bottom. And Hold them off. You're going to the championship 4 to try and repeat as the champion here in the Cup Series. How does it feel?
Feels fantastic. These 1.5 mile races, and especially tonight with how much wide open throttle there was, there's so much up to luck, and just trying to get myself in a good spot there at the end. And they got to racing, and I just took a chance and went to the top. I didn't think I'd get to the outside of Reggie there, and I was really happy I did. And that was it right there. But really happy. I got to start practicing now for, I believe, Atlanta's last race this year. So I got to put some practice in for that.
Yeah, there's some similarities, I think, between this track and that one with the kind of older rough surface and obviously the 1.5 miles, being the same length and all. But yeah, what does it mean to just survive all this and be able to fight for that championship once again?
Yeah, it means a lot. Again, it's so hard. I mean, you almost see more contact in these races, even though we're going so quick, than a short track, just because everybody's trying to side draft so hard and trying to pinch people down and whatnot. And everything's going on. It's really a big game of chess. You got to think ahead a lot of times, and I don't know if I did a great job of that tonight, but with incidents with other guys, just ended up in the right spot there at the end and took a chance, and it paid off.
Definitely paid off, and now you don't have to sweat Talladega next week. So what's going to be the goal going out there with Keith and your teammates on the track?
Definitely trying to help them out. I'd love to go out there and race for myself, but everybody else ends up racing for teams, and that's the way it ends up being. If I don't stick with my team, I won't have any friends out there. So definitely trying to help Keith advance. I mean, I think he's definitely deserving with how many wins he has this year, and of course trying to help Chris and James and Ryan, and just trying to help them out. And if I get in a similar position there and I got a shot to win, we'll see. Maybe I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll see if you can go 2 for 2 here in the round of 8. But started 4th, you lead the last 5 laps, and I believe that's all you led here tonight. Clutch pass around the outside. Definitely going to want to go back and watch that one. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank you, Adam, for doing a great job with the broadcast. Also with the paint scheme tonight, it looks fantastic. So thank you again. Got to thank Shenandoah Shine for being the title sponsor for tonight, and all the league sponsors for letting us do what we do. Got to thank Nick and all the admins for doing a great job putting on this league. All the drivers putting on some good racing, and my team V-Speed.
Awesome, Seth. Well, congrats on your 2nd win of the season and the chance to fight for another championship yet again. Go celebrate, and we'll catch up with you in a minute.
Thank you.
All right, Seth Hatchell, race winner here tonight. That car, I'm going to see here. Hidden from. Bring him in. Second place is Zach Carr. We'll see right now. Zach Carr, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
I got you.
Well, Zach, what a battle out there the last 10 or 15 laps. You were tracking down Reggie, Seth, and everybody else was closing in behind you. How intense was that, and how much fun was that?
It was a battle all race, Adam. I mean, with the way the pit strategy worked out in that first stage, and I had to go to the back because some people were able to save. I thought our race was, I wouldn't say over at that point, but I'd say definitely wounded. So having to get through the field at a track like this and the way the car races, and I just thought we were going to be screwed for the rest of it. And then was able to get up through there and and get up there with my teammates and everything and work together with them and got ourselves in a pretty good spot. And we were all battling fairly well as teammates. You don't want to hold each other up and cause another car to go by. It's just the best way to describe it. It's like a mini Daytona and Talladega at the first 10 to 12, I'd say 12 laps. So you got to kind of play those Talladega Daytona team games a little bit to make sure you keep the other teams away from you. So just trying to manage that, it was definitely, I don't know if I'd say fun, but it was interesting. But yeah, no, at the end there, it was fun racing Reggie and them. I wish one of the LDR cars could have gotten it, especially me. It would have been great. But just I rode behind Reggie that whole run and knew that I wouldn't be able to make a move. I needed him to mess something up with the way this car drove. And he finally made that little mistake in 3, and I got a run on him, and you know, at that point, I'm like, the only thing I can do is, you know, try to pull a slider in 1 and 2 and get to the top lane. And I did that, and it just didn't work out. And then finally, they all just kind of swarmed us, and you know, just people pulling sliders and killing each other's momentum. It was just chaos. But you know, congrats to Seth on that. I mean, I don't think I didn't see him coming on that third lane, and last second I realized that I throttled up and tried to get up there, and it would have caused a wreck if I blocked him. So, you know.
Yeah, definitely clean battling there. It could have gotten really physical really fast, and you guys did an amazing job of really keeping it off of one another. And just an incredible battle. If you go back and watch it, it's very entertaining. I know you didn't get the victory, but 6 wins this season and a pretty good cushion. You head into Talladega next week, so really anything can happen there. But you know, how comfortable do you feel heading in there with the points you have?
Well, obviously, I mean, I don't want to brag or anything, but I feel like a lock right now for the championship, unless it goes horribly wrong the next couple of weeks. But I'm just gonna try to focus on working with my teammates and help them out a bit. As Jeremy had a horrible night tonight, and I think most people in this league know he's really good at Talladega, so I think they should be definitely worried going into there, especially AJ or Keith. So you know, I'm gonna try my best to work with them. I'm trying to play fair because we're gonna have AJ trying to be kind of against Jeremy, because you know, if he wins, it's gonna knock AJ out. So you're gonna have to be careful on what teammate to pick, I guess. But you know, just gonna be a team game next week, and just kind of just race it, I guess. You know, not no aggressive mentality, and then going into the race after that, which is, what is that, Bristol?
Yes.
Bristol? Okay, well, Bristol, that's going to be a different situation. So, but yeah, next week, just get to relax. I can't wait.
Yeah, you don't have to have too much pressure on you with the big points cushion, but hopefully you can go out there and get yourself another victory. You're it that way, but you lead 10 laps after starting on the front row. You end up right where you started in the second spot. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to you for broadcasting, league owners for putting this on, sponsors. Definitely need them, otherwise we wouldn't be able to really do this. Obviously teammates, as I said earlier, you know, this is a team race, surprisingly. So, you know, if I didn't have them, I probably wouldn't have finished second. I probably wouldn't have been up front. I probably would have been shuffled to the back about 20 times, like Denny Hamlin does at plate tracks. So, big thanks to them. Like I said, I feel bad for Jeremy and how his race went. So hopefully he'll rebound next week. And yeah, just teammates, man, you need them.
That is definitely the case, especially next week. So see how you do out there if you can give some those guys. But good run here tonight. Catch you then.
Sounds good, Adam. Thank you.
My auto third place finisher here tonight. I'm in. Hey Keith, Adam in the VC booth. You got me.
10-4.
Well, Keith, it got really wild there at the end. At one point, it looked like you were going to be too far back to be up in the mix, and then everything just got stacked up, and you were right there in the thick of it. But man, just give us a rundown of your race. I know you were battling up in the top 5 a lot of the time, but had to come from a little farther back a couple times. So how'd it go for you?
It was chaotic more than anything else. Probably made a few enemies on the way, but it was, I don't know, you battle as hard as you can just to stay up front, and then hopefully you got enough stuff towards the end. But I'd like to say it was fun, but like I said, it was chaotic and stressful for pretty much the whole race.
Yeah, I think these are a little bit more stressful than a super speedway, where the driving itself is not as difficult. You're just kind of more packed up, I think, really the whole time. But definitely a strong finish, coming home third, and we do go to Talladega next week, so there'll be a little bit more of this. How do you feel going there with the points you have and knowing your teammates locked in? Probably help you.
I'm just hoping I have a lot of luck on my side. So more luck than enemies there, and hopefully things will work out. Well, you know what it's like. You can never be guaranteed on how you're going to finish those races.
Yeah, I definitely. But you've had pretty good luck there. Don't want to jinx it, but you've had pretty good luck here in this at getting solid finishes there. So we'll see. I think you won at Daytona either earlier this season or it was last season in the Cup Series last season. But see if you can go out there and get another one here in the Cup Series. But third place tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to all my teammates for all the great racing and advice they give along the way. Shenandoah Shine for sponsoring the race tonight. Yourself, Adam, an awesome job you do with V Speed, and everyone below WLO.
Awesome, Keith. Well, another podium for you here tonight. Good, strong finish. Catch you next week.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, that is Keith Mayato, third place finisher. Let's go to the rest of the results in the race rundown. 3 cautions in this one being for the stage, the other 2 for actual accidents around the racetrack. Jeremy Miller involved in one of them. The other one was Anthony Pelican going off the nose of Eric Lambert. As we're taking a look here, Seth Hatchell was your race winner, getting the final lead change, holding on for the last 5 laps. He holds off Zach Carr. Got a good cushion going into next week. He finishes 2nd. Mayato finishes 3rd. Reggie Ortega comes home in 4th. Angelo Ronas, a very strong performance tonight, led some laps, finishes 5th. James Loveland ends up with a 6th place finish, probably the biggest mover tonight. AJ Stravato lines up 7th after a late contact there. Is Anthony Pelican in the 8th position. Alec Martinez able to charge back to 9th after the late damage as well. Daniel Cunningham finishes in 10th position. Good finish for him. 11th was Dallas Sullivan. 12th, Alan Dice. 13th, Jeremiah Vincent. 14th, Chris Samard. 15th, Bradley Wilson, who led a lot of this race early on, but not able to recover after getting trapped mid-pack. Zach Smith finishes 16th. Timmy Emanuele finishes 17th. That is Lyle Sulfridge finishing in the 18th position. Brandon Pearl finishing 19th, and Eric Lambert rounding out top 20. 11th, Jordan Brackel. 22nd, Joshua Abbey. 23rd, Jeremy Miller is going to have to dig out of the hole next week. We know he's a good plate racer, and he won the opening race at Daytona, so he's going to be looking for an opportunity to advance with a win next week. And Cody Adkins rounding out the field here in 24th position. We do want to thank you for tuning in here tonight. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we'll be back next week with Talladega, second to last race of the season, or this round rather, the third to last race of the season. You won't want to miss it. Till then, have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with family and friends and all that you're thankful for. We do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in to the broadcast. If you like what you saw, make sure to go follow us on the different social media outlets you see on your screen. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see what products we offer and services. We'll see you next week.